back into it. So I've gotten the cultists moving forward. Now I've got to rush build the raptors and get them into assaulting the enemy base, followed by a squad of space marines. Oh, wow. Oh, hi again. Yeah, so basically I jumped off into the chat room that I linked before. I said hello. I posted a music video or two. Just so you might be able to correlate, like, causation, like a person. So the person actually streaming, as well as the actual person who's in a chat room, I suppose. You might be able to identify them that way. Especially considering that I've used exactly the same chat name for over 20 years. So I'm one of those weird people that I actually don't change names. I have used the same name for like 20 years. Well, there are a couple of other names. Yes, exactly. So like if you jump in there and like you create an account, I'd be able to see your IP address. Not that I'd actually check because basically the I haven't checked anyone's IP address for like the past I don't know what year. People got kind of annoyed with me doing that when I basically banned the entire chat for like a year. No, I banned the entire chat for like 3 days. Well, that's entirely up to you. But basically, I'm putting all my cards on the table. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a. Let me look it up. Anime Hell for Maria. Uh, I won't get struck for doing this one, so I should be able to. Damn, I can't find it. I'll have to like post it later. Probably something I should have found first. I'll try and find it. Like, I'll try and actually find it. Well, it might take me about, like, 5 minutes. I think. Something like that. That's actually one of my favorite, like, comedy routines. No, the chat room is definitely not an Australian chat room. It's actually an American chat room. Though there are people in there from like everywhere from the United Kingdom to like Georgia to Ukraine to Australia to like Singapore to LA to like Indonesia to like Philippines. There, there's everybody there, man. They're all there. Should stop looking this up because it's really hard to find. Oh my god. It'll come to me eventually. Ah, found it.
The man.
All right. So, are you ready? This is one of my favorite like comedy routines. I should not get denied by posting it. If I get actually sprung for doing this, then yeah, there's something wrong with life.
And the woman meet at a card table, write down all their little emotional problems on little playing cards, take turns being honest, slapping them down. The guy goes first. He goes, hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is Tom, and I'm a Scorpio. She goes, hello, my name is Sally, and I'm a psycho. Okay, my turn. My father used to lock me in the closet when I was 3. My dad came out of the closet when I was 4. Well, I can't have an orgasm unless I'm on top. I can't have an orgasm unless I'm on crack. All right, well, listen, I have an imaginary friend named Bosco. You know Bosco? All right, look, I'm neurotic. I need to see other people. I'm schizophrenic. I am other people. All right, take the pot. You win.
Sorry, that's like kind of one of my favorite like comedy skits. I wouldn't say I belong to a hacker group at all. No, absolutely not. Not even close. No. Nowhere near that. No. Nothing to do with hacking. I'm a programmer, yes, but hacker, like when you say like a hacker group, no. For people like us, it's kind of like just like a handshake and a grin. You know, that's not like really hacking. Like hacking is like it's got so many bad connotations. It's like, can I write a Python script that can like harvest your IP or whatever? Does that make me a hacker? No. You know, you know, generally hackers really don't think of themselves as hackers. Like generally, we're not trying to like create harm or like hurt anyone else. Yeah, like that's why I posted that video that was like just before. Like it's like a perfect like example. It's like I'm not schizophrenic. I am other people. Yeah, it's actually kind of like more like comedy. Well, it's like finding vulnerabilities in programs. Yeah, like finding different ways. Like I, for instance, like I banned some like in a chat application. I actually like I had moderator in a chat app, and I basically banned someone permanently, and no one else could unban them. And I was like, yes, hmm. And I suppose that might make me like somewhat of a little bit of a hacker, like just a little bit, tiny bit, tiny bit. Yeah, like in that particular circumstance, for example, basically the person who was banned was exactly what you described as someone being wrong. Like the wrong sort of person to be using like a chat room. In other words, like someone who's actually like a pedophile. Let's make sure that I got all this set up properly. So basically, for me, it really comes down to like living my life. You know, like I'm just kind of like living my life. Yeah, like you would think it's dodgy. I know you. Basically, one of the most basic like abilities like of hacking is social engineering. So myself, I've gone like I actually went to university when I was in high school. So I went to university when I was like 16 years old, right? So I went to Monash University, uh, and I learnt computer science and programming when I was in high school, like before college. Like I actually went to uni before I was in college. So one of the first things that I learned was about like social engineering. Like that was like one of the first things in computer security. And basically, that's where you're trying to elicit a response out of someone by like saying something that is like, oh, I don't know, that sounds kind of dodgy. Tell me more. See, like I actually studied that stuff. I actually also studied I did ITS. I did information technology and software engineering combined with a minor of cyber law. So copyright law and stuff like that on the internet. Exactly, I've said a lot. Just enough. So like to compare it to your own situation, like what you're actually doing, even if you don't realize that you're actually doing it, you're actually trying to elicit a response. So that is hacking as well. That's social engineering. So basically, you're using social engineering to get more information out of me. Now, the question is like, are you doing it deliberately? Or are you doing it without knowing that you're doing it? Exactly. See, in that particular chat, there's actually no reason for me to bypass their vulnerability because the bypass is already there. Totally dodgy, yes. But the thing is that am I actually doing it? Because I want to actually harvest your information. So, like, that's why you're saying it's dodgy. It's like, oh, this person, yep. Yep. They're trying to get me to go to this site because they can access my IP address there. Oh, I can't use a VPN. Good old sub-health. But you're actually, like, sort of like bypassing the idea. Yeah, but see, like, that's the actual funny thing. Is because I won't even do it. Aha! Now you're into it. But the reality is, and I'll give you the straight up information, is that I don't do that. Like, literally, I could if I wanted to, but I don't. That's why I'm a mod, because I don't do it. I could do it, but I won't do it. I could do it, but I don't do it. I had to find out if I could do it first. I mean, like, if I'm not saving information, then it doesn't matter. Like, straight up. So, yes, I can do it, but I don't do it. I'm the most chill cunt you'll ever fucking meet. Like, seriously. I don't do that. The threshold for me to do it is generally when people start harassing people. So if someone harasses someone, then I'll do it. Exactly, and then I'll learn their patterns, typify them, create like an IP, like a range, and say, yeah, this person, every single time they log on, that's that person. But I don't do that. Like, I don't do that. So, like, you just need to trust me when I say I don't. I'm one of the good people. I don't. If you can't trust me, then, well, you know, that's your own problem. You can't trust. I mean, I'm not asking you to buy an Amazon gift card, am I? Yeah, well, that's absolutely correct. So basically, in our community, we've had to use profiling. So because it's a small community, a very small community that not many people actually talk in, not many people come in, and they come from different areas. We've had to use profiling because we do have trolls who get in and cause trouble, and they do cause real harm towards people. They harass people. They accuse them of doing things that they haven't done, and it's one of the methods that we use to basically determine whether or not someone's full of shit. So, if someone is full of shit and we can profile that they are full of shit, then every one of us can just say, no, you're full of shit. You're a wanker. You're a dickhead. Shut the fuck up. Because we do have people who don't do any of that shit, who we'd like to protect. People who are just like ordinary people, you know? And people come in and they try to hurt them. So obviously our job as mods is to make sure that they are protected. You know, like, we trust the people who are real. And when there are people who are coming in constantly, and there is constantly, like bots, AI, you name it. Fuck, I unleashed AI on the chat myself. I did it twice. When it happens, we need ways to be able to determine who is real. So yes, we use profiling. It is a bit of a popularity contest. That is absolutely right. Because basically, the way that the chat rooms work is that generally there's like one person who runs the chat room, who owns the chat room. If they disappear and they go to sleep and they disappear, they go away, then moderation can't happen. So what if a mod goes rogue? What if a moderator goes rogue? Right? The only way to solve that is the owner must be able to recognize that a moderator has gone rogue. It's spy versus spy. So, as long as you have an active moderator and an active owner, you can't have a moderator that goes rogue. So it is a popularity contest. And the person who wins the popularity contest is the person who runs the chat room, the person who owns it. Then you also have the moderators, who must also participate in a popularity contest of being legit. So if a mod does things that are not legit, then if the people who are in the chat, you have two different types of people who are in the chat. You have one type of person, the people who are actually people in the chat. And then you have the type of people who are trying to create chaos and destroy the chat. The owner must be able to distinguish between the person who is part of the chat and the people who are destroying the chat, and being able to trust their moderators, essentially. So like there's, like kind of like a popularity contest going in there where the actual moderators work. Like that's kind of where I work, because like I don't need to win. Because like everyone trusts me. The reason why everyone trusts me is because I don't fuck around with people. I don't fuck people over. I don't harvest their information. I don't fucking take anyone's side. I only take people's side when they're getting bullied. Yes, it's a popularity contest. I'm winning it. Does that make sense? Please tell me that makes sense. This is one of those few situations where actually things work right. And it has been working right. Like, it's not like the United States fucking Senate or whatever, like the Republicans versus the Democrats, where you got Trump going, "Oh, we need to build a wall." This is one of the things where we all trust each other. And we're actually, more appropriately, we don't trust each other, but we're in balance. Because we all know that we could fuck things up if we wanted to. But we don't. You know why we don't? Because, like, it's not really a popularity contest. It's just, like, trying to keep things alive. Yeah, I'll say, like, that's one thing that has actually changed. Because, like, we disabled VPNs. So we made it impossible for people to use VPNs. So I spent about 2 years actually actively banning everyone who was using a VPN. So I was like, no, fuck you. You're using a VPN, bang. Trust gone. So the difference is everyone here doesn't use a VPN. If they do use a VPN, it's a good enough VPN that it can't be detected as a VPN. So yes, I know who is who. So when it comes to actually people who like chatting and just like normal chatters, like people are being like trolls and like attacking other people now they basically have no choice. They have to use like an IP address that like shows who they are. So if they harass someone, like for instance, I'll just like take one of our members who's like a woman who basically accidentally sent some like minor nudes or whatever to some dude in the UK who was like possibly underage. We don't know because there's no proof, because like nobody is actually showing us like proof of age verification cards or anything like that. So a girl did that to a guy, So we've had like 5 people who've been running a war for the past like 2 years, and like a couple of people who are just like, who cares? Because like for us, like the basic, like the burden of proof for like a criminal activity is like, can you prove it? Is it undeniable? Can you provide age cards? Can you provide someone's blah, 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 blah? Who cares? No one cares. The only people who care to raise drama, and generally, like, and this is what I'm actually talking about, the people who are trying to create drama are just actually trying to create drama. Like, it's as simple as that. If I wanted to create drama, I could say, I have a nuclear weapon. I have bioengineered sarin. I could release that on a train. And like right now, every single fucking like system across the United States or the UK or Japan or whatever is like going wah 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 wah. You know, like there's all sorts of errors going around. But like really no one actually cares because like the whole situation is with different shit is that when people talk shit, it's really easy to pick up when people are talking shit. So like when you're talking about like stuff like pedophiles or you're talking about like nuclear weapons or you're talking about like, you know, fucking whatever. Like just apply Occam's razor to it. The simplest explanation is usually the most accurate. It's usually just someone butthurt, like fighting and like saying some bullshit. So my job as a mod is basically to cut through all that bullshit. You know, like people can say whatever they really want, but if they're not going to actually sit there and front up with the proof, you know, someone could like log into chat today and say, I'm going to kill myself. Oh, I've got my knife. I'm going to cut my wrists right now. If I reacted and called the cops every single time that happened over the past 20 years, do you know how much of a pest I would be to the police? People cry wolf all the fucking time. I know who everyone is. Everyone. They don't want to know it. They don't want to like it. Does that make any sense? VPNs actually makes it too hard to track. So when people are using VPNs, it does make it too hard to track. So basically, someone in New Zealand or whatever could be using a VPN, and then someone in Australia can use a VPN in New Zealand and impersonate that person. Simple as that. So it makes it too easy for people to impersonate other people. And like for mods, it makes it kind of like really hard. Like basically that's when we have to sit there and drill down and be like all hackers and like, oh no, wait, that's a different person. Yeah, exactly. But that's why we also completely removed anons. So you can't use VPNs and you can't use anons. So an anon account is an account that doesn't have an actual account. So what was happening was that people were using like a non-account. So that like using, rather than creating an account, they just like log in with some random account, pretend to be someone else, essentially. And that's when they were actually causing real problems. There were anonymous users, yeah. So basically, once we disabled VPNs and we disabled anons, that got rid of most of the problem. Because like you got to imagine, like we're all kind of messed up people already, right? You know, like we've all got our kinks, but there were people who were trying to like impersonate people being on different like different and they were making the problem worse. So they were just basically trolling. So that's how we fix the problem, is basically that we have moderators who know everyone, and I mean everyone, and we don't let people into the community until they've been vetted. Oh yeah, we still kind of knew who they were though. So like we still kind of knew who they were, but it was hard to like prove to the average Joe Blow user who they were. So basically, what we did was, as I said, we disabled the ability. First thing that I did was that, and not just me, it was also another moderator. We wrote custom Python scripts to identify every single person who was using a VPN. Then between me and them, even though we kind of hated each other's guts because like we're on different sides of the fence, but we identified every single person who was like trolling, and then we created a war where we 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 basically we both went at each other. Like we hacked the fucking living shit out of each other. And after that was all gone down, after that happened, as things started coming back up, the person who actually owned the chat realized that, wait, these guys are actually kind of onto something. They kind of know what they're talking about. They put us both back in, and we don't fuck around with each other now. Like we both take things from each other's side, but between us both, we make sure that anyone who is in our chat, even though it's a small chat, it can't be infiltrated from outside anymore, because people can come in, but they don't have anonymity. Anonymity? Is that the word? And between the both of us, we protect the people who are part of our community. It's actually a really nice thing. And the way that it works is like really cool because, as I said, it's very small. It's trackable. It's not like there's tens of thousands of people coming in. There's only like maybe one or two every week or two, if that makes sense. So that's like, because I've advertised my YouTube and Twitch on chat before, that's how I know that people from chat end up on there as well. It's kind of like a feed-in thing where I get people to come in from my chat on YouTube and Twitch into the actual chat itself that we use. Yeah. So I know when people are coming in from inside, like from in our community where we've got lots of trolls, into my own like streaming stuff. So you can't really fool me that way. And when it comes into like the other direction, where people that I talk to and meet or whatever when I'm streaming, and they enter our community from my direction into our chat, they've already been vetted, because essentially it's like, well, you're a new person. Well, we didn't create a bot. That's the thing. It's not a bot. It's all. And this is one of the things, like, this is what the other person had to understand from the other side, because we've both approached it from different angles. I didn't create a bot to do it. I just used my brain. I could actually make a bot to do it. And I did. I did it as a proof of concept. But as soon as I realized how gay it was, I stopped using it. Because it's more fun to me when it's like when I have to guess. So I didn't create a bot to stop anons and VPNs from chatting. All I basically did was like, okay, well, these are the pointers. You don't really need a bot. Just go look at it. There's a small community, as I said, and I've said 1,000 times, small community. The amount of people that actually join our shit, yeah, it's not like there's like an internet bot scraping across the internet, finding our shit. Yeah, it's something that we both created ourselves. Like I created a lot of the what I came up with, like just using Claude. like it's open on the internet. It's really easy to do. Like Chitango has an API. So does Discord. So it's not just like Chitango. It's like Discord. It's Facebook. Everything. Like Twitch. They all have APIs. They all tell you IP addresses and stuff like that. Like it's just basically writing something that like collects it and smooshes it together so that you can know when things are going on. Like myself, like I use like just like standard JSON storage, but like I use storage that wasn't permanent, so nothing got actually stored permanently. Like if I wanted to ban someone, yes, it stored in a JSON file or something like that. But like when it comes to like detecting things that are coming in, it's like, is this someone that we've seen before? No. Red flag. It's super simple. It's not a program that comes with Django. It's something that you or anyone can do. You can turn off anons and VPNs in Chitango. It doesn't work. The actual settings in the program itself, yes, it does allow you to do it. It doesn't work most of the time, but it works enough. So basically, it works for the most cases. So like when, like you can imagine a person like you have a neckbeard like fucking Discord bod, like sitting there staring at everything all the time. You know, like you don't want to be doing that. Like who wants to do that in a chat room which has got 30 people? Like 30 average users. You're not going to be doing that all the time. No, you're just going to set up something that when something new goes on, bang, red flag. So on top of the settings that you can use within Chitango, which allow you to do that, then you put the other stuff on top. Anons can still chat in Chitango if they create an account. To create an account, they need to fake an email address. They don't need to actually have an email address to create an account. They can put in a fake email address. So when they create an account, they can just go, bang, create an account using this fake email address. Now they've got a fake account. Have they set a profile picture? It's not really hacking. It's just like, this is the thing. Like, this is what really have to get through people's skulls. It's not hacking. That's just like using a computer. Like, people can still be anons, but they need to put in a little bit of extra effort to do it. And because they're not smart enough to know how to code it, they can't do it. But they can do it. So there are still the odd and on that can go around it, but because they're going around it, you know exactly who they are. You know, this is not everyone can sit there and write a program to create like a fake anon. You can do it. It's actually not hard to do it. Like, I won't sit there and explain the process. I didn't create a program. We didn't need to create a program. All that needed to happen is for everyone to agree on certain rules. As soon as everyone agreed on certain rules, done. You know, you didn't need to create a bot. Back in a moment. All right, so what have you learnt so far? So, like, maybe, like, I'll put up a paint diagram, like, just so we can actually, like, make it, like, a little bit more understandable. All right, so we got paint. So we got, I know this is kind of funny, but all right, so we got VPNs. Got normal. We got normies, right? So we've got VPNs, we've got normies, and we've got like evaders. Okay. So we've got this other thing here called like a chat room. So basically what the bands do, like how it works, is that we can't do VPN chat room, right? We can do normal to chat room, right? That's a tick. And we've got evaders. So now we've got people who aren't using VPNs, but aren't normies, but are like trying to evade using VPN to get into a chat room. So now they have to use the normal route. And when they go on to get here, yeah, it's yes, that they can chat. It's quite simple. But then they have this thing which is called verification. In our case, known actors. So, in other words, we know who people are. We all wrote down lists of every single person who actually visits chat, who is people we know, people we trust, people who don't cause shit. We gave them a big tick. Yes. So that's where there becomes conflict. So where between different mods, we know different people. Yes, exactly right. It can be easily abused. So what we actually do is we take this and we do this. Does that make any sense? Yeah, so basically what we did was we said any moderators who create conflict that's what we did. But so in other words, basically what we do is really quite simple. If you are causing drama, whether you are a mod or someone else, you get removed. The reason for this was because a lot of mods were created who basically their only reason for existing was creating drama. So as soon as we did this, and we did this, we ended up with a higher user count. I can't even type. Anyway, you get it. Higher user count. And mods who cause drama were removed. And now, even though VPNs are still banned, we still require people to create an account. We still have a chat room. Because those who are left know each other, and they're all known actors. Does that make sense? Basically, what it comes down to is that we know people. We are the best type of mods. We actually know each other people. See, like this is where you're actually starting to become combative. So we'll start again. Let's like just begin with yourself. Unknown. And we'll start with like the other shape here, which is chat. Then you have people like me who are basically known actors. So before you get there, you actually have to go here. So before you become a known actor, you actually need to go through one of us first. Yeah, we do have the moral high ground. That's the entire point. So basically, when you actually like create questions about morality, questions about legality, you state those questions to me, and then I go, there. But before you even get here, if you don't get here first, this doesn't matter. Exactly. You know, like, and like, we're not too worried about the like the consent aspect of it because we're not forcing you to go here. That's your choice. But this is run by us. So this is something that we created. If you don't like it, then you can leave. So like I'm not trying to like say fuck off. You know, I'm just like trying to point out that if you're going to just like attack other people, like if you don't like other people, if you are thin skinned and you don't like necessarily have the ability to like just wash something off your back, it's probably a good it's not a good idea. And like a known actor like me would just say, leave. So like we're not no one's forcing you to be here. But the thing is that the known actors, once someone is in chat that we don't want in chat, we make them leave. But that said, you know, like, obviously we don't have people in chat unless we find people and bring them in. So, like, that's not an abuse of privacy. So, like, let's bring this up. Abuse of privacy. Oh, well, look, if you're talking about Discord, I mean, like, you do realize that, like, every single thing on Discord is, like, stored on data services. Like, Discord is free for a reason, because they're buying and selling all of your data. No, it's not illegal. It's just quite as simple as, like, it's a club. It's a club. It's being part of a club. Is it illegal to associate with other people? Maybe in your mind it is. I mean, in LA right now, there's people being shot with rubber bullets. I'm sure that makes fun. I mean, if you're paying taxes, you're getting hit with fucking rubber bullets and getting fucking put on a plane and, you know, sent to El Salvador or something like that and put in like a high security maximum prison. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's fucking highly illegal. I'm in Australia, motherfucker. Reach out and touch me. Yeah, so abuse of privacy. Storage of information. Yeah, I put a question mark there. 0. Do we store any of your information? Profiling. Like, so we're saving information? No, we're just talking to you. Just like I know that your name is Panther Jazz. Right? It's in my head. Is it illegal for me to remember what I've learnt from talking to someone with their name? Remember, small community, less than 30 people, 30 people. 30 people using different names. If I don't remember your name, then you're suspect. It's as simple as that. So, storage of information. There is 0 storage of information. It's not legal. I'm not storing information. I'm not storing it in a JSON profile where I'm like recording your IP address. If I was banning your IP address, I might record your ban, like your IP address, and just like put it in a script, say ban that particular IP address. Is that storing your information? No, it's not. So storage of information, 0. storage of communications. So, your particular conversations. If I have a member of my community and they are, like, as far as I know, completely fucking normal, and you start harassing them and calling them things, and I say, Joe Blow, this person's attacking this person for some reason, whatever. Am I storing your information by discussing a public event in public? So I actually studied law. This is something you might actually not realize this, but I actually studied cyber law. I went to university and I studied it. I went to university and studied cyber law. In other words, recording people's information and what we're allowed to do. Yeah, well, like, I'm not storing your information in a file. Yeah, like, I'm not making up an arbitrary example. I'm actually explaining to you how it works. I can completely be lying. Lying is not illegal unless I'm committing business fraud. I can lie to you that, look, the sky is blue. It's nighttime right now. It's black. No, it's red. It's purple. It's green. I'm not making up a story to justify my overreach. Am I a government authority? No, I'm a member of the public. Storage of communications. Am I storing your communications right now? As I'm communicating to you on this chat, and I'm actually teaching you stuff. Like, I'm actually trying to teach you business law here. Right, I'm trying to teach you cyber law, international cyber law. I'm using Restream Chat right now, which is recording your communications and then submitting it over on YouTube and Twitch. Actually, no. Let me explain to you how this works. You are using a public carriage service. You are using a public carriage service. Every single thing that you say is published. You are publishing your own speech in a public domain. This isn't a private domain. This is where this can't be considered a private discussion. I'm not an egomaniac. I'm actually explaining to you how the law works. The internet works like this. This is a public discussion. You are using a public service, a carriage service. You are subscribing to your ISP, your internet service provider, to communicate on the internet and speak, and everything that you can say will be recorded. Because I'm not actually recording this, like, just saying, for a business purpose. But the spirit of the speech. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So the storage of the communications, like, I'm actually not storing your communications. You've actually already submitted your communications online, verbatim. It's published. Everything you say online can't be taken back. There's no take backsies. Storage of communications? Who cares? Like, literally. If I was to deliberately store your information, right, for a business purpose, then it might be a problem. Alright, well, try and explain to me what the problem is. Okay? Remember, you're talking to someone who's got over 20 years experience. if you're broadcasting an IP address, that's a public discussion. The content of the discussion, yes. But what about the carriage of the discussion over a public carriage service? Okay, so if you were using like DARPANET, yeah, fair enough, yeah. Factory, yep, go with that. Exactly. I totally work in a factory. But basically, let's just scrub this. So what it really comes down to is like there's probably like two different areas where you can think about common law. If you're in like a British country, so like say in like Britain or Australia or Canada, then you have whatever US law is, I don't know what it's called. Then you have European law, like like your German sort of law or whatever. Germany actually has really good privacy law. But it doesn't really control companies that operate outside of Germany. It only controls the data that can be held of German citizens. Yeah, well, you're not actually really raising a point. Like I'm actually trying to talk about like how things actually work. Consent. Perfectly. That's exactly right. When it comes down to consent. So when you type something online, in most law systems, it is considered public domain. So if you come up with like some sort of invention, like say you invent the next like fusion drive or something, like internet, like the next sort of like space fusion drive or something like that, and you type it down in chat and you like post it on a YouTube site, that's actually public domain. You can't own it. You can't copyright it because you've already posted it to public domain. If you actually want to keep something private, you write it down on a piece of paper, you put it in an envelope, and you mail it to yourself. And then you take a photo of the date stamp. But when you're actually talking online, every single thing that you say can be recorded, copied by anyone. Intellectual property again comes down to like what is actually considered intellectual property. You're a cool person. Like I'm just like I'm laying this down to you so that you can understand how it actually works. Like this is how it works. Yeah, like what one of the big things with like intellectual property is like say like the got a state secret, like say the F-35, like the plans for the F-35, and then like China comes around and like hacks your entire database and like steals it. Then your choices for enforcement are basically he said, she said, he should, the basically. So like a legal remedy. Like if you actually have a legal remedy, like it's debatable. It's all about power, really. So like, oh, I mean, like so, like Julian Assange or something like that. So like when Julian Assange was like sitting crazy in an apartment in the UK, spreading shit on the wall. What about that guy who like leaked all those American secrets? Whatever his face is over, like sitting like calm with like a pension over in Russia at the moment. Can't even remember his name. Traitor anyway. Those are completely different things. This is why we have like different registry authorities for like patents and stuff like that when it comes to like intellectual ideas. But like when it comes to like what you basically bullshit out on the internet, like what you're just saying before you get a patent. Yeah, like it's just like public domain. Yeah, finally. Poor cunt. Like that guy was literally spearing shit on the fucking walls. That's how fucking crazy he went. He had to live in a bathroom in a UK embassy for like 10 years. Yeah, so basically what it comes down to is it really comes down to like something like this. You know what that symbol represents? I suppose it's pretty like shittily drawn symbol. Could have drawn it a lot better than that. So like what the difference is that you have yeah, so basically what I'm talking about is I'm talking about like like that. Fucking with that. See the Venn diagram here? Like you see that Venn diagram, like where we can just like keep on just going and going and going. But basically, what we're arguing about, yeah, straight up anarchy. So what we're talking about is like one community of anarchists arguing with another community of anarchists about everything else. You know, like it takes you a while to actually understand this. So like, does that make more sense now? Haven't really. It's really hard to stray far from the point when basically it's as simple as like a bunch of anarchists running a chat room, getting sick and tired of like, you know, governments and like other people running bots, like trying to form their own fucking shit, influencing our stuff. And us just like making our stuff so hardcore concrete that you can't really get into it. And then other anarchists are like looking at it, it's like, oh no, that's a breach of security. Oh, you should let people use VPN. Or you should let people be anons. It's simple. We already did the math. We've been there, done that. I actually love that. No, that's really cool. Dogma. Fucking dogma, yeah. No, you're right. You're spot on that. Yeah, absolutely fucking right. I don't believe half the shit I say. Like, I'll say that straight up. I don't believe half the shit I say. But yeah, dogma is like bringing up dogma as a point. Chef's kiss. Love it. I mean, for starters, that would mean basically we're trying to achieve something, right? It's like we're actually trying to achieve something. Like we're trying to like make a point. Are we trying to like make a political point by doing this? Are we actually trying to achieve a political point? Ask yourself that question. Are you trying to make a political point? Are you actually trying to achieve something by what you're saying? Are you trying to influence someone by what you're saying? Dogma. Love it. I like straying far from the point. It's nice to have good conversations with people. You know how long it's been since I've actually had a decent conversation with someone? Ah, see, now that's the killer. You want to know how it actually went down? Okay. Let me give you a timeline. Okay. The tools to prevent anons and VPNs from chatting were denied by the owner of the chat room. So, me and another hacker came up with the tools to stop people using anons and VPNs from chatting. Then, me and the other person who came up with those tools went to war with each other because we were dogmatic about our different perspectives from different sides of things. And then we literally nuked the fucking living hell out of life. We blew up everyone. We deleted everyone. Listen, okay? It will make sense. And this is like it just clicked why you don't understand it. After this, we both got demodded. We were both demoderated. We both lost our powers to be able to do this. And then, finally, the person who ran the whole show removed the ability for anons and VPNs to chat so that we didn't need to run bots. And then they made us both mods again. And since then, I still haven't run a bot. I haven't run a bot. The other person is still running a bot, but they can run a bot because, frankly, the bot actually does some nice things. Like when you play a YouTube video, like announces like the name and the song and stuff like that. My bots don't do that. My bots just run in the background. So I don't run bots anymore. And neither do they. So precisely what you just said, we had the tools that we used to do exactly what you said. We both got banned for it. The people who run things put in place what we were doing so that we didn't need to fight over it anymore. Then made us both mods again. Ain't that poetic? Yeah, see, like, that's the funny thing, because, like, we're still mods. So we could do it again if we wanted to. So when it comes to, like, overreach, it's like, what sort of overreach are we talking about here? So, like, you can't say something like, it's very possible you're being used. I'm a willing participant. So, like, being used is like, it doesn't really click. Anyway, I'm gonna bail. If you want to chat, you can have a chat. Because it looks like we're just gonna keep going round and around and around and around and around and around and around and around. I'll leave you with a little speech. Oh, I absolutely know what fucking jurisdiction that they're in. Yes. So, like, one of the great things is that they're operating in US law, and I'm operating in common law. Nah, they're US. Yeah, they're totally US.
I can assure you I mean you no harm.
Who are you?
Who? Who is but the form following the function of what, and what I am is a man in a mask.
Well, I can see that.
Of course you can. I'm not questioning your powers of observation. I'm merely remarking upon the paradox of asking a masked man who he is.
Oh, right.
But on this most auspicious of nights, permit me then, in lieu of the more commonplace sobriquet, to suggest the character of this dramatis persona. Voila! In view, a humble vaudevillian veteran, cast vicariously as both victim and villain by the vicissitudes of fate. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and has vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin, vanguarding vice and vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious violation of volition. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, this vichyssoise of verbiage veers most verbose, so let me simply add that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me V.
Are you like a crazy person?
I'm quite sure they will say so. But to whom my
Really? I'm the totalitarian government. That's really fun. I love that. That is so short-sighted. So basically, you've gone from calling me a hacker to calling me a government to where exactly are we now? So, like, I've already cottoned on, I've twigged on to people like you. Basically, you will always be contrarian. You'll always find something else. You'll find some way to actually argue against what someone is saying. You just want the argument. I've dealt with people like you for 20 years. Now, one of the more interesting things is that you're actually on my YouTube channel, which means that you, by virtue of actually being here, are actually providing me with a metric. You're actually providing me with a benefit from being here and talking to me about it. Even if it's only just one view. See, I don't really care too much about one view. One view is one view. But then again, that's basically the whole reason why I have the challenge, because, like, I don't actually do all of this because I give a shit. One view is actually pretty important to me. Now, if I was a government, I might care about like 1 million views. I actually find it more comfortable when I don't have 1 million views. So, like, at the end of the day, in the next, like, say, 3 months or so, this particular video might get about like 250 different views. At most. So, like, it's a really hard drive to actually say that I'm actually using this to create views for a political manifesto or something like that. But that is actually what you would like to do. So at the end of the day, once the conversation is done, you would like to say that this is part of the political manifesto. You'll go out to someone else and you'll say, oh yeah, this person is doing this and this. Or the next person that you talk to. Or perhaps the next time you talk to me. Now, this is the problem that I've had to deal with when I've been working in chat rooms. Like when I've been a moderator and stuff like that. Because especially when we get people who like try to like start to stalk. You know, it kind of happens over and over again. It's not the first time it's happened. It's not going to be the last. Now, at the end of the day, even if I ended this stream right now, you're still going to remember this conversation. And it's going to worm away in your head. Oh, overreach is totalitarian. Dude, I am a forklift operator. I drive a forklift. I earn over 70K a year. I make bank. I pay rent on my house. I jump onto a chat room and I try to maintain a community of people who I love. Oh, overreach is totalitarian. Like I'm acting like a government. See, I'm used to acting like this. This is not the first time that you've acted like this. This is why I spoke to you originally. It's like, how did you find my channel? Was it because you actually found it? Or was it because you followed me back from the chat? Now, the difference is whether or not you can actually convince me of where you came from. Whether you can convince me that you came from chat or you just came from outside and you just found my channel and you just talked to me a couple of times. Like, for starters, do you actually like anything about Warhammer 40k? Have you ever seen anything about Warhammer 40k? So, you must have been subscribed to me before you saw this particular video and before we had this particular conversation. Yes? Nice. See, it's nearly 3:30 a.m. and I've loved this conversation so far. I've found it engaging. I like to actually talk to other people who have a brain, who can talk about different concepts, that I can sit there and share graphs. This is a graph. You know, talk about like different concepts like totalitarianism, communism, commercialism, hackers. You know, talking about all the different things that we've talked about so far. But don't delude yourself into believing that I don't know how you found this channel. And even if I know that whatever, if you found this channel just through some random freak consequence, then that I don't know what sort of person you are and what things that you like to talk about. Because it's already quite obvious how contrarian you are and the way that you want to talk to things. No, you don't get off that easy. You've been going on and on and on and on about this for quite long enough. Every single time you've said something, I've provided something for you to get onto it. And like you've started talking about, oh, it's a breach of our civil liberties, blah, 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 blah. And you're starting to record our information. I'm like, oh, we haven't been storing your information. Blah, blah, blah. Like, seriously, going on and on and on and on and on. This is one of those rare opportunities that you can actually talk to me about things like this. I have done you rightly by this. I actually gave you my attention. I've been talking to you for over an hour. That damn well deserves a sub. I hope you sub. I was trying to play a goddamn fucking video game. How the fuck did we end up talking about politics for fucking 2 hours? Think about it. Yeah, I already know. All because I mentioned a chat. I didn't even mention the chat. You led me into it. And I'll have you know I still have it a bear. That's not hacking skills. That's not even hacking. It's not even hacking. Like, this is what you don't understand, right? It's not even hacking. It's not hacking. I mean, like, that's just like living in this stage. Like, real life in this world, the way that things are right now, you either know how to hack, it's not hacking, or like you just need to know how to use computers. Like, you need to know how data works. You know, like, you need to know how big data works. Yeah, ideas are fun. Sorry, I'm not pissed off at you. Like, to be honest, like, it's actually been a really good conversation. Like, I don't really get to have them very often. I just wish it wasn't so one-sided. It would be more fun if we would both be yelling at each other on voice. Instead, you have a recording of me now on YouTube and Twitch. Now, you can refer to this video at any time. Instead, I can't refer to your memory because I will probably forget it in 5 minutes. Yeah, I suppose it probably was. Okay, I'm being a cunt. But like, still, that said, like, that's the point I'm trying to raise. It's like, you know, I'm basically running a stream here where I'm actually talking, but all I get to see is text. So I posted you a link to a chat. If you want to jump on that chat at some time, maybe next time you can host the fucking link, and I can fucking yell at you while you're hosting a chat. Yeah, that's anarchy. That's the way I think of it. Anyway. Now, if you really want to screw with people's minds, then you can start thinking about like a hostage situation. So, like, because you know that I'm going to be running streams on this account and I can't really change from this account, I'm kind of like a hostage to your whims. So, whenever you want to jump onto my streams or whatever, and like start saying, like, if I'm playing a game or whatever, just like bring up something that we've talked about previously, you can hold me hostage to your whims. Yeah, is it like some sort of like a mental isn't it like a mental like a disorder or something where people get used to being treated like shit and like hostage syndrome sort of thing? How about you run your own fucking stream? Why don't we talk on Discord or something? Then I can actually talk to you face to face or voice to verse, as it were. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, besides the one I have running. Just kidding. Nah, you're right. You're all good. Don't worry. You haven't pissed me off. This is like normal fare for me. But basically, it's Thursday or Thursday. I don't know how much you know about me, but like I'm a full-blown pagan, like vampire. Hello. So basically, Thursday is like it's basically the best day of the week. I had a full moon yesterday. Yeah, but that's also kind of what you try to do as well. So like, don't don't pot kettle black this. Don't pot kettle black this sort of shit. Because I can recognize this. I can see it. I can see it a mile away. I know as soon as someone that I don't know. Like, I've been running this channel on YouTube and Twitch. I'm not even kidding. For 15 fucking years. Okay? 15 fucking years. Okay? And this is me talking to people over YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, and I'm not just talking about people on chat. I'm talking about when I'm running my own fucking streams. I used to be actually monetized. That's one reason why they keep me around on chat. It's because like I actually kind of know what I'm doing. All I gotta say is, and like this is absolute honesty, is that stop trying to set yourself up from others by using like defensive measures when it comes to like VPNs and stuff like that, or worrying about anyone else thinks about you, especially when it comes to like changing names and stuff like that. I haven't changed my name for 15 years. Chatting online on Chitango, for example, or on YouTube and Twitch. I mean, I did change my name on YouTube, but that was only because like they changed the way that you uploaded things, and I had to pick a new name because you couldn't use your old channel name anymore. You know, I've used the same name for 15 years. Exactly. That's exactly right. It's in the public domain. Who cares? Like, what? 10 years down the track, I'm going to have like 50,000 viewers, and they're going to be like, oh, this is the moment. No one cares. No one gives a shit. It's like when I'm talking about the chat and stuff, like people get all fucking antsy about like watching like Peter Grill or like interspecies reviewers and stuff like that. I'm just like, dude, no one cares. No one does. Like, as soon as you start thinking that you're some super secret like spy or whatever, you know, like where anything matters, that's where things go wrong. You know, like as I said, I've been doing this stuff for 15 years. I mean, I'm still doing the same stuff now that I did 15 years ago. Nothing's changed. Nothing will change. I don't care. Nothing will. I mean, I'm not going to get arrested because I'm doing some illegal crazy shit. I'm not doing anything illegal or crazy. But there's plenty of people, and there are plenty of people who are obsessed enough to say, oh, you know? Don't let yourself fall into that fucking hole. You know, like, I don't know how old you are. I hope you're not as old as I am. But just fucking have fun. Because that's the whole point. And it's often a lot more fun when other people are having fun as well. So the more fun you can have with other people, and they can recognize that you're having fun and they're having fun at the same time, that is actually a really cool thing. You know, like as opposed to like making other people feel like they're paranoid and or whatever. Blah, blah. Trust me, I've been doing this for a very fucking long time. Which is the reason why I'll sit around and I'll just like, dude, I have to get on a forklift tomorrow. I drive a fucking forklift for a living. But I earn over $70,000 a year doing it. I work for a very, very large company. I make bank. I get good, like, annual leave and stuff. I'm full time. So, I've got nothing to worry about. I don't know, like, yeah, I mean, it's more fun when you're having fun together, I guess. So, like say we were playing like Left 4 Dead or something. Yeah, it's like I'm playing like with an AK and you got like a shotgun and there's a witch and you like run up the witch and like you shoot the witch but you don't actually kill it. And while it's ripping you apart, I like shoot the thing with an AK and then I pick you up and give you a med pack. That's like kind of like happy days. Yeah, that's life. Like that's life in a nutshell. You do that for 20 years. I don't know, man. I'm a weird one. I'm waiting for my body to fail me. I mean, I work a pretty fucking physical job, but then I went from a physical job to working in an office to working a physical job. I'll probably be working in an office soon. I do still have beers left, I hope. Yes, I do. See, because we've had this big chat, I've got to get on chat soon and shit talk some before I can get back to playing the game. But it's nearly 4 a.m. in the morning. So, but because I work afternoon shift, I don't start work until 1 p.m. That's the beauty of it. I actually get to stay up late. My life is fun, dude. Yeah, no one ever is. Like that's the funny thing about the chat. Like it slowly died. Yeah, like all the old people, they're all gone. And the reason why they're all gone is because of the trolls. You know, like the people who just like can't have fun. You know, I'm one of those people who likes to have fun. So, like when it comes to like moderation and stuff like that, it's kind of like just talking about like how do you slowly stop something from dying and like keep it alive as long as possible. Yeah, it's kind of like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the World's End nightclub. You know, the nightclub at the end of the Earth once the universe has ended. That's kind of like the chat that I moderate. Ah, It wasn't the mods that killed the chat. That's what I'm actually trying to say. It wasn't the mods that killed the chat. It was the trolls that killed the chat. So basically, the trolls that were part of the active community, they actually destroyed it. Like, while the mods were, like, trying to do everything possible to keep it alive. And the reason why I say this is because I will straight up that the mods will keep it alive forever. There's no people required. Like, seriously, the mods can keep it going for the rest of the universe. It took a very long time to find the right mods, though. Yeah, that's actually awesome. You wouldn't really get on well there. Like, basically, that's one reason why I arced up at you so much, is because, like, basically, you would straight up attack, like, some of the people who are regulars there. You would get labeled a troll in, like, 5 seconds. And it wouldn't be me banning you. In fact, no one would ban you. They'd just let you talk. You'd be talking with the wind. Alright. So, let's raise a couple of questions. One, how do you feel about anime? I get along well in forums as well. The forums I used to chat in were like old FPS games, like like Enemy Territory Quake Wars, for example. All right, so like older stuff, like old anime. What about like Ghost in the Shell, like Witch Hunter Robin, Akira? I don't know, like Inuyasha. What sort of anime are you into? Oh, Evangelion, yeah, awesome. Asuka, fucking going nuts. Ray, you're like a blue head. Well, yeah, Ninja Scroll, yeah. So, like, basically, on the outside, you already look like you get along with a lot of people. Yeah. So, like, that's basically yes. So, what would I say that if you went into the chat and some troll was just like, "Oh, anime weeb," you know what generally would happen is that one of us would be like, "Oh yeah, that's that troll who keeps on banning people," and then because we know that they're a cunt, we'd like silence them and let you announce what you actually like. Trigon, yes. Nice. So, like, those are all awesome things. So, basically, you are exactly the sort of person that I would like in my chat. It's like, just like chatting about like those sort of animes. Like, that's awesome stuff. And, like, when it comes to like real world, like political stuff, like Ukraine or like America or like whatever, like, generally, I don't like political talk. Like I don't like talking about like Bitcoin or like any of that shit. Yeah. So like I'm just like pointing out that basically you are the sort of person who do really well. Like in general, you're the sort of person that I'd like in that chat. The only thing is that one of the problems with like keeping people around is that, oh my god, my cat is jumping all over. My cat's getting entangled in my headphones. Ah, ah. What? Uh, is my voice? Yeah, my cat just got entangled in my headphones. Um, yeah. So like basically, what the trolls would usually do, um, is they would attack people. Like someone would say like, "Oh, new episode of One Piece or whatever," and then they'd try and invent some like bullshit about that person, and then like try and beef about it. They like beefing, you know. Ugh. So anyway, like the whole reason why we had to become so good, I suppose, as hackers when it comes to like modding is because people couldn't just like talk about what they liked or what they wanted to talk about or music. Like I used to just sit there and I used to just play like song after song after song after song after song. Like I'd just play music. Like that's the sort of person I am. I like music. And anime. But there'd be one person who'd like just sit there and like attack people. And it was usually an anon and someone using VPN. Basically always. So what we did was we got on top of it. Well, it looks like they got. I guess. Probably because I got all the windows closed. I still have 2 beers left. I still have 2 beers left. Whether or not I can go back into the game at the same fucking level. Actually should recreate the stream. Just because the viewer count probably won't increase. Because it's been running for so long and I've been bitching for so long. Lol. Anyway, for anyone who's actually sat here long enough to listen to us rant about shit, thank you for hanging around. I'm gonna end